All right, obviously a disappointing end to what looked like a great football game. In summation, I would say, guys, that I thought it just took us way too long to get started. We were kind of banking on our defense, keeping us in the game until our offense could get clicking. It just took us too long offensively, I thought, to get clicking. The kick out of bounds at the end of the half, after we had scored the touchdown, obviously didn't help. Them finishing with 2 field goals, obviously was the difference in the game. So a lot of things that we have to correct. I think what I will say is I saw a lot of the positive things that we believe that we have. Once the offense did kind of get on track, saw some of the explosiveness that we know that we have, and we'll just have to become more consistent with that. So with that, I'll see what questions you guys have.
How did the offense get on track? Where did you see the shift?
I think we got that got that first down right before the half, and then hit the explosive. No huddle. We had a plan of being in some no huddle this game, but really in the first half, whether it was a botched snap on the ground, whether it was a guy not lining up right, whether it was the explosive play to Christian that gets called back for a hold, a lot of plays where we just kind of beat ourselves. Then we had that run where we scored right before the half, and then obviously, Miles kind of took over there, had a run there of 2 sacks in a row. So I just think it was one of those deals where, as the guys settled in, we had some batted passes early. We had a lot of things. One of our points of emphasis for the offensive line was that we were going to have to drive them out and pass pro if they were, trying to sit there and mirror the quarterback and knock his hands down. So it didn't happen early. We kept pushing it as the game went on. And then I think Christian made some, explosive plays on the one drive. Obviously, the bad snap that he picked up and all those different things to get us going.
You mentioned the botch snaps. I mean, I know you have to look at tape, but is that a timing thing between Baker and the center, or is it? I mean.
Yeah, I can't say what it was, to be honest with you. I'd have to talk to those guys, seeing why the ball was rolled back. Obviously the last one at the end of the game, we have the ball 1st and 10. They have 3 timeouts. I think we have a good play, and the ball's on the ground, almost lost it. Almost lost the game right there. Almost turned it back over to them. So they were both in the gun and under center. So we'll have to get to work on that tomorrow. I can't tell you why that happened.
What were the explanations on the 2 calls or non-calls? One on Burns, roughing, and then where it looked like they were going to call them for procedure on the spike and didn't.
Yeah, I asked for an explanation on the one play, the first play with Burns. I did not get it. New rule in the NFL was explained to me. So the best I know is that defensive linemen raising to knock the ball, if they make contact with the quarterback's helmet this year, is not a foul. It has to be forcible contact. So that is a new rule. So. As Burns drove the tackle back in and then put his hand out, I expected that not to be a foul. It was called a foul. I got no explanation. I'm not obviously questioning anyone. I'm just talking about the new rule change, as was explained to us on multiple times. So that's all I know about that. The second one, we literally just showed our guys 2 days ago, a quarterback on, pumping, the quarterback pumping or mishandling a snap, can't take more than a step back, then it becomes intentional grounding. We showed our guys them. They run outs on their spikes. They'll take this out and throw the out. So we showed our guys that. Looked to me like that's what the quarterback was doing when he stepped back and then put the ball on the ground. I started screaming, intentional grounding, 10-second runoff. Game's about to be over. They obviously called it and then changed it, and then it was told to me that. Am I allowed to say it was told to me? Yeah. Okay. I don't want to get in trouble here, but what was told to me was that he just pump faked it. So I don't know the rule. It looked like he took more than 1 step. He was far enough back. I've seen what they do on tape. It was explained to me that was a foul. Then, they came out there. They're lined up. The clock's going to start on the snap, and then they stopped and reset it. So, unfortunately gave maybe their kicker a little bit of time. So just a lot of things there at the end that didn't go our way. I'll say it that probably the best as I can. Didn't go our way. And feel like we're pretty on top of the rules. We thought that would be the end of the game, but it was not. So we had to keep playing. Kid made a great kick.
Matt, at the end of the game there, like that field goal drive, when you got down there and it looked like maybe you had some momentum, was there thought about taking a shot at the end zone? But instead it kind of looked like, from our vantage point, you wanted to kind of line things up for Eddie. What was the thought?
Yeah, no, we did not want to give the ball back to him. The first snap, obviously putting the ball on the ground, might have changed us a little bit. We wanted to put the ball in we wanted to put the ball in McCaffrey's hands and take the game out of Garrett's hands, right? The second one was the same RPO that we hit, or the third one was the same RPO that we hit DJ. So our hope was that if they, brought pressure or anything, we'd hit DJ one-on-one and win the game with a touchdown. So, we went with the play that got us there. The thing about RPOs is sometimes they look like you're just running the ball, but sometimes you're explosive down the field. So, We knew that they had no timeouts. We felt like they would not be able to, go the length of the field, go however many yards, 40, 45 yards in that amount of time without a timeout. The only thing that would allow them to do that would be a penalty, an unsportsmanlike conduct. And those 15 yards and the clock stopping is what allowed them to kick the field goal.
How do you address Baker Mayfield's ability to come back in the second half after all the adversity he went through in the first half?
Yeah, I think he, like the rest of our offense, just kind of settled down. I think, a lot of little things got in the way in the first half. Plus, they're a good team. And, we were in a lot of third and longs. I mean, there was just a lot. It just was not a very good half. I thought the play he made right before, at the end of the half to get us back on the scoreboard gave us some energy. And then, hitting the explosive play to Robbie, for us to have, Ian involved in the passing game, Robbie involved in the passing game. I know maybe not as many touches for a couple of guys, but more diversely spread out, which is kind of what we wanted to be on offense. I think if it's a game where, we were able to get off the field a little bit more on defense, I think that was a major story in the game, was just we struggled to get off the field on defense. Too many third downs where they were able to stay on the field. A couple more possessions, maybe we could have scored some more points. But as I told the team, this is our first time playing together. We were hoping we'd come out clicking right away, but knew that we would click eventually. And I thought in the third and fourth quarter, offensively, it looked like we clicked, and the defense made some plays. Eddie made the kick that we needed him to make. We just have to be better in the 2 minute.
Christian had 3 carries in the first half, ended up with 10. Was that part of the game plan, or was that managing him?
Yeah, no, we were not managing him. We were just, we were in 2nd and 12, 2nd and 15. We just were severely inefficient, in the first half. So it's hard to run the football when you're in, 1st and 12, first and those things. And a lot of those were, again, because of the way that they play, were some RPO concepts where, we're gonna hand the ball off to Christian. Oh no, wait, DJ's open. We threw the ball out to him or threw the ball out to Robbie. So, I think the first 3 plays were designed to go to Christian. We just weren't always able to get him to him. Obviously, he had the one screen with the penalty that was called back. I didn't see the penalty, but so we tried to get him focused in the first half, but just didn't run the ball well enough with them having long drives and us not getting off the field and us being inefficient on 1st and 2nd down, leaving us in some 3rd and longs.
When you said you didn't see Baker where you needed to say something to him about settling down, did you see anything differently in him today?
I don't know if I said anything about me talking to Baker. You said, to make sure I heard that you say that again.
Previously in the week you talked about you didn't have to talk to Baker to settle him down. Yeah, did you see anything different with him in his preparation?
I thought the whole offense, I went over at one point and sat down with them, and I was like, hey guys, this is exactly what we said it was going to be. We're going to have to settle down. We're going to have to execute. Like, you have to line up properly. I mean, there's a bunch of just little things that affected us. And, I thought it got better as it went. Again, in the second half, I thought we executed better to a degree. Obviously, there was the 2 plays where Miles sacked Baker that were obviously, big plays in the game. But I thought Baker just kept battling, just kept attacking, and then in the end made the plays that we needed him to make to get back in the game.
Talk about Chubb's effectiveness throughout the game.
Thought he was excellent. Thought he, at the end of the day, the biggest thing that he did was he broke tackles and got to the edge. We know the type of back that he is. We had hoped that we would get them. We got them in a lot of 3rd and 6s, 7s, 8s, 9s, and just weren't able to get off the field to not allow him to pick up his rhythm, pick up his speed. So, I think defensively for us, we know we're facing a good back. We knew what they were going to be. We have to go back now and really kind of look at, hey, what do we do well? What do we not do well? And we know we have a good defense, but we're going to have to put some things together to make sure that we play a little bit better. Some penalties and extended drives. And again, if you do those things and then let a guy like Chubb have that many carries, he's going to finish with 200 yards.
Hold on. We're gonna take 2 more questions.
Were you penalized in the first half?
Yeah, that was on me. Yeah,
What happened?
I was watching the play run down the field. The official ran into me, bumped into me. I was in the wrong place, so I apologized to him and took the flag.
Scott Fowler, and then all right.
Matt, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
Did you want me?
Go ahead.
Okay. Can you explain that RPO just a little bit more on the 3rd and 9 from the 15 or whatever? What was Baker's option there, and why didn't he end up throwing it to DJ?
Yeah, it's a glance by number 1 and just an inside run by number 2. So in our mind, you're putting the ball in McCaffrey's hands, who had converted the 3rd and 7, or and at the very least making them use their timeouts. And if not, if they drop down, they play man, they play 1 high, the safety comes down in the box, it's not a clean look, then you're throwing the ball to DJ. So that was the play that got the drive started, the explosive to DJ. We went back to it. It just didn't work out, unfortunately.
And Matt, how would you evaluate where the chemistry is at for this offense and where it needs to go?
I don't know that I can evaluate it now without watching the tape. I think, obviously, as I said, I think it took us too long to get going. I thought once we got going, I thought, the explosive play to Robbie, the drive at the end, I thought those were all, seeing the tight ends involved, those are all the things that we need to see. We have to run the football better than we did. I think part of that is being efficient and staying in drives, getting, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 plays in the preseason. We had some 13, 14, 15 play drives and then too many 3 and outs early in the game. But, I thought the guys battled. We'll have some guys, the Icky, some of the young guys will have to come in, watch the tape, look and see what they did well, and they'll have to take a jump. But I'm excited about where they're headed. I thought, they competed and they fought to the end. And at the end of the day, I felt like on offense we went down and won the game. And I thought the game was won, and it was going to be a huge moment for our program. It just at the end of the day, they made one more play, and we regroup and we come back next week and we go play.
Thank you, Coach.
See Adam Baker that made you comfortable that he's going to be the guy going forward?
I thought Baker stood in there and took all the bullets and took hits and made the plays down the stretch to get us back in the game. So, thanks, guys.